Westwood Studios is here in Indianapolis at NetHeads to launch Renegade, the command and conquer game that's destined to take over the world.
I think the fans of Command & Conquer will find many elements in the game very familiar. For example, most of the units, be it infantry, or vehicles or buildings, you will find them in Renegade, faithfully reproduced. For example, you will see barracks, you will see bunkers, you will see hand of nod, airstrip, and so forth. And on the character side, you will see all the characters returning from the previous game, such as the flamethrower, rocket soldier, and of course our main character, the commando. And I do believe that having these elements that are returning from the old game and being able to be in the thick of the battle will really draw the players in.
Well, I'm enjoying playing Renegade today because the ability to go into all the vehicles and place yourself in the positions of all these characters that I've been able to play in the older game. So I can go out and be a non-surgeon, I can go out and be a GDI soldier, and actually be inside the vehicles. And with the team play is really exciting because you get to talk to people, get a group together, and do specific strategies to get things done. So it's really fun to get in there and mix it up against the other opponents, because there's so many things you can do, things you can buy, and different tactics you can use. You can use solo tactics, you use team tactics, and you just get a bigger feel of the game because you're in the game instead of watching other things do what you want to do.
Well, I think some of the newer grounds that we broke with Renegade as far as graphics are concerned is the fact that we have huge expansive outdoor environment along with interior environment that doesn't require a separate game load. So the transition between the outdoor environment and the indoor environment is seamless. Another area in which we feel very comfortable talking about the improvements we made in graphics are vehicles. Many of the vehicles that we have created are not only able to be driven by a single player, but also it's in a cooperative mode. There will be a driver and a gunner, and the physics within these vehicles are simply fabulous in our opinion.
I like when my kids play. We get to play together, we're shooting at each other, we're having a good time. It's good. It's a good game.
A friend and I came down specifically just to see this Renegade premiere, and just to see what had changed, how the gameplay was, and it was great. We enjoyed it a lot. He's playing on different teams than I am. There's an upstairs and a downstairs, so we don't know where or if we're killing each other or not, but it's just the excitement and the throughput. Good network, great throughput, and it's just fun.
One thing I like about Renegade is that it's got depth to it. It's got more of a feel. And I played some other games where all of a sudden my hand goes through the wall. In Renegade, it never happens. And the other thing I like is you look across the valley, it's got depth to it. And when you look through the scope, it's like you're looking through a scope. And it just brings you more into the game. There's less inconsistencies, less things that distract you,
It's a team-based multiplayer. It's unique in that we really emphasize the teamwork between the teams, between the two sides that you can play. In many games, you could be really gung-ho, go out by yourself and blow things up all by yourself and be a hero. In this game, there is an element of that. However, it's more about jumping into a vehicle, having a gunner who will fight with you, someone to run up next to you and heal you when you're taking damage, and working cooperatively together to place, for example, a nuke beacon in enemy's base and taking it out. And the satisfaction you get from working with other people that you don't really know on the internet, or maybe even your friends, I think that's what makes this gameplay really unique. And let's not forget the fact that we have all the vehicles returning for Renegade that has been in a previous Command & Conquer universe.
Renegade is a must-buy for sure. The graphics are well done. They They put a lot of time, I think, into the development of the game. I know they have. I've been following them for quite some time now. The multiplayer is great. I had a chance to play both the single player and the multiplayer, and I think that it's going to be a hit.
Other games have a little bit of problem with collision detection and like pixelation, but I didn't see that problem in Renegade. It's really smooth.
Yeah, when you jump in a tank and run people over, the collision detection's right there.
Renegade's very immersive. It has a lot of options to choose from, like what character. I like the vehicles. Just the fact that it immerses you into that command and conquer world. Other games don't have the background to jump into a first-person shooter that this one does. It has such a fan base for the command and conquer series that it's and the way it immerses you into that, and you become Havoc or other people. It lets you really live in that world instead of having to look over that world.
I'm going to go reserve a copy of Renegade right now.
Well, we worked very hard to capture the old CNC universe. Our universe is a very rich and very expansive environment, and within that we have two factions, GDI and NOD, and each faction has a very distinct flavor when it comes to their soldiers, vehicles, and the types of buildings they have. And I think we were very successful in capturing not just the flavor of what old Command and Conquer was, but also expanding beyond what has been done, and improving some of the looks and really capturing the flavor of each units and buildings and the environment.
Netheads, I'm going to have to keep an eye on this place.